It's my biggest problem. When I am trying to make a video and speak to camera, I think too much about what I'm gonna say rather than just be. And then at the end, I end up saying almost nothing. But as soon as I finish my video, stop the camera, great and wonderful ideas start to come to my head, and it's just a flow. And the flow which I actually try to transcend to the videos. My main idea is that I don't plan what I'm gonna speak about and don't make the script. I just want this flow of my mind, which I have from time to time, be transferred to the video. And then I was thinking about the next topic, and I decided, okay, anyway, I better make the video about this. So I want to speak about the freedom, and then what is the prior to our perception. What is the freedom, first of all? The freedom, like, sometimes people ask, right, what is the freedom? What's the freedom? The question is, freedom of what? Freedom from what? You want to get free. Free from what? Right? Freedom of not going to work. Okay, well, this is one type of freedom. Freedom from your parents, freedom from your spouse, freedom from your kids, freedom of speech, freedom of some sort of actions. It all comes from the problem. So prior to this freedom is the problem. If you have a problem of speech, it means that you cannot speak what you really want to speak, and you feel it again and again, that you're not allowed to say what you want to say. Then you start searching for freedom of speech. If you have problems with your parents, then you start searching for freedom from your parents. If you are tired of your job, you start searching for freedom from going to work, right? But if you have no problems with anything at all in this world and in your life, then you are free already. There is no freedom you need to search for. You still might be going to work, you still might be making money, you still will be a son or a daughter, you still might be a father or a mother. You still might not say everything, not everything you want, but everything. Maybe you know that if you say this, there will be consequences, and you are not interested in consequences nor in saying these things because you don't feel that you want to say that anyway. The limits are still there, but you are free anyway because you have no problems with them. You don't create any problems. You don't see any problems with this. And then I've been thinking about our perception as well, right? Freedom of movement. I started to think about freedom of movement. Some people, they feel that they are very limited in movement on the land. They feel sort of uncomfortable in their lives. They feel that there is always pressure, there is always maybe people around you who you worry too much about, that what they're gonna think, what they're gonna say about you. Maybe it's freedom of, I don't know, like movement. So if you are limited to where you can go, same like Truman, right? In Truman Show, you basically surrounded by the area, and you feel very, it's very difficult for you to just go to another new place and have fun. Many can be. That's why they start searching freedom and something else. Maybe they want to go and fly, jump with parachute, paraglide, or anything else. Or they want to go down the ocean. go diving or using the bathyscaphe going down and so on. And then these people would say, or maybe even go to space on the space rocket, and these people would say that this is where they feel free. I heard a lot from people who jump with parachutes that when you are there in the sky in a free dive, they feel free and they feel that nothing else matters. I understand it, but the reason of this is because they don't feel free here on the land, on the solid ground. And once again, the problem is not because they cannot fly, same as birds. No, the problem is that they feel limited and pressured by the surrounding society or something else. And that's why they feel uncomfortable. For me, none of this matters. I'm always feeling free. Doesn't matter where I am. You can see my surrounding right now. Looks weird, right? And still, I feel completely free. Doesn't matter where I am. Same as some people in jail can be completely free if they have no problems with the surrounding and their soul, their mind is free. Doesn't matter where you are, because that's where we come to the topic of perspective. The world, you can look at the world this way. There are many ways to explain surroundings. So I want to give you this example. Imagine that the world is the same as like any video game, where if you know how video games work, especially with open world games, when it looks like the world is completely gigantic, right? And it exists like Skyrim. And everywhere there is life. And there is. But there is not. How the games work? The games work the way that when you are present in a specific area, everything around this area starts to become alive. Everything already programmed. There is a program already. But before you go there, before you get to this area, basically everything sleeps. There will be no NPCs, no characters. The things which doesn't move, like buildings, houses, furniture, they will be there already, maybe in low quality graphically, but like human characters, they will not be even there. It would be like a ghost town. But as soon as your character will be coming closer and closer and closer, and will be almost entering the town, when the town will be visible already, then you would see there are many characters walking around. There is life going on. So from your perspective, the first point of view, the town was alive all the time. But in reality, the way the games are programmed, we know that this town is completely empty. If somehow you could detach your character from, or yourself from the character you play, detach, so the character would still stay at the same place, and then you would fly with this like sort of camera, you would fly to any other region of the game, you would notice that in other regions there is no life, there is nothing. Everything would be static. There would be no characters at all. So our life is kind of the same. Of course there is life somewhere, but you need to look at where you are right now, at present. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Do we have walls around? Maybe some area with walls or not? It doesn't matter. You The only truth which you have right now is where you are right now. The only real place which exists is the place where you are. Are you in the room? Okay, so the room with four walls, with furniture there, with people there, that's the only real thing which exists right now. You have no idea what's going on behind the door. You start to imagine what is behind the door, right? Use your mind to tell you what is behind the door. I remember there is a corridor, there is a hall with walls color like that. There were two doors on the left, one door on the right. There is a coffee machine. There should be a secretary, because it's her table there, but it's your imagination right now. We call it memory, but memory is also a part of your imagination. Memory is your imagination. It's like when we speak about the past. Does the past exist? Past doesn't exist, because everything you interpret as the past, and you call it's my memory, like I remember it happened. Yeah, it is, but it is your imagination, because at present it doesn't exist. You just remember what it existed, and of course you interpret your memory. Maybe there were events, but the way you remember the events. And over time, memory changes the events a lot. Same as you can see, old people, when they speak about their childhood, they always say, oh, our time was better, ice cream was more delicious, drinks were nicer and healthier, food was much healthier and better. But in reality, these people maybe ate pretty simple food. Ice cream was just milk, frozen milk, or icicle with frozen ice. Food was just bread and something else with sugar, salt. I know. I remember, like, my grandparents and my parents tell me about their childhood, that yeah, they ate like this, they ate like that, but life was better. Of course it was better, because it's your memory, the way you interpret it. The life just existed the way it existed, not different from present at all, actually in reality. But memory interpretation, right, actually didn't exist, never existed. The past exists only as far as there is somebody who can tell you about this, or if there is you who can tell about this to other people. But imagine if everybody would forget everything about past instantly, like boom, and everybody forget their past. They have no memory completely erased. They still know how to move, they still have skills, because it's their like kind of instinct, it's programmed inside them. So they're not becoming vegetables, no, they still can move, exist, eat, understand they need to eat, they need to sleep. They still can speak, because it's again the skill which was programmed since they were babies, but they just don't remember, they don't have memory of the past. Emptiness. Then what would happen? So first of all the relationships and connections, they would be gone straight away. You would feel very uncomfortable. You would come back, maybe you would wake up in your apartment, but you would not remember this place, you would not remember this apartment. You would see somebody there. It can be your spouse, but you have no idea about this person. You feel like if you see this person for the first time. You have no emotions, no connection, nothing anymore. Because all the emotion, all the connection you have with anybody is just the memory which you have. And memory is your imagination. It's your perspective of you. So same here. That's going very deep, but I like it. It's the flow. It's the flow of my thoughts. So all the thing which we called past actually never existed. Past never existed. There is only present, only going on now. Everything what we call past is just our memories. And our memories are the part of our imagination, actually. Once again, just conclusion. And our imagination interprets the thing which we call past, the thing which we call memory, the way it wants to interpret it. That's why different people speaking about the same events tell different stories, right? Most of the time. Because they have different perspective, and they also have different imagination after the events which occurred. Erase everybody's memory, and nobody would remember anything about their past, and the past would not exist anymore. Everything what happened before doesn't matter anymore. About our life. Anyway, we are same as in video games. We have only the first perspective. We see this world from the first perspective, even when we say that I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am the one who observed the life from the side, I am one with everything around this, with everything, with universe and so on. Yes, but still, anyway, we observe from the first point of view. Same as when you play video game, there is a character which you play and you see the world from his point of view or her point of view. Even though you know that you are the player of the game, and the main character, same as the whole game, is just one video game. And everything what happens there is just the scenarios of this video game. So if you don't feel that you are the main character, you are detaching from it. So life here right now is the same. You are not really this character, you are just the observer of this character, but you see this world through the character. You need to have at least one character to see the world and observe it and interpret it and play it, and that's what you do. But anyway, everything you see comes from this first perspective, first point of view. You are viewing the world from this screen of your eyes, what you see. And everything exists as far as you can see it. If you cannot see it anymore, you can't be sure that it exists. Once again, imagine you, doesn't matter where you are right now, imagine you are sitting now where you are, and then boom, and you have no memory. All your memory is erased. Would you understand where you are? Would you still remember that behind the door there is something? No? You would know only what you see around you, and that's the only thing which you would know, and you would realize. You would have no idea where to go and what is awaiting you behind or on the way, behind the door, because you don't remember anything anymore. So you never saw the other room. You never knew the other people. So what I try to tell you, that you must ideally realize, it doesn't mean that you need to get crazy and insane and start telling everybody that nothing else exists in this world, but you just need to understand that there is this way of understanding the reality around you, that as soon as you are present somewhere and observe something, it exists for you right now at this moment, and only this moment is the real point. There is no past and no future. Future is your imagination mixed with the past. Past is your imagination which comes from the events you observed before, mixed with your personal post-interpretation, which is constantly changing over time. Until the point when you don't even understand, did it really happen? It was a dream or it was something else. There is only present, only now. And where you are right now, exactly where you are right now. This is the only thing which is real right now at the moment. Do other people exist? The one you met before? They do. But you need to kind of, it's mental practice. It's a sort of meditation. You need to imagine sort of that what if they don't exist, because they are not present with me right now. If they are sitting with me in the same room or in the same area where I can see them, literally see them with my eyes right now at present, okay, they exist. They are here, they are around me, they are the part, they are present, same as in video game. They're present, they're walking, I can see them. But if they are somewhere else where I cannot see them right now, then they are not really present. You cannot see them. You have no idea what they're doing. You can say, well, my wife, she's working, but do you really know what she's doing right now? Where is she right now? In which room at her area of work is she? Is she working? Is she behind her computer? Or is she playing her phone? Or is she eating? Or is she speaking with other co-workers? Or is she sleeping? Or maybe she's not at work at all. Maybe she went back home because she feel unwell, but she didn't tell you. Or maybe something else happened. Maybe she's driving. You have no idea. It's your imagination start to work, pretending that, okay, I think that she is there. Probably she is, but you have no idea because she's not present right now with you. You are where you are. And even if you are in the forest, or on the top of the mountain, same as like in video games, when you are somewhere in open area and you feel like you can see everything around, but actually you know that you see only as far as the computer loading loading items. For example, forest. You feel like you see the whole forest. In reality, you just see the front line of the forest, and behind it, because it's too far, there is nothing. It's empty field, because the game just didn't process them because they're too far and not visible anyway. So the other trees, they just not exist. But if you would be coming closer and closer to this forest, the other trees would start to appear behind. But for you, it doesn't matter because you don't see them anyway until you are deep in the forest. And as soon as you are there already, they would be already all present because they will be all around you. So same here. You can stand on the top of the hill and you feel like you see everything. In reality, you see only what your visual allow you. And of course, the further the item away from you, the less existing it is. So for example, I know that where I am right now, there are lots of flowers, grass, and of course insects like ants, caterpillars, other stuff, but I cannot see them. I can see only the one which would be near me, near my leg, walking around, or near myself. Okay, I see an ant. Okay, he is running right there, the little ant. Okay, now this ant is present to me because I can see him. And of course, somewhere there in the grass, there are lots of ants, but I cannot see them right now. And even though we are in the same area right now, in this area, which I basically can observe, but I cannot see those tiny things because they are too far from me. So actually, they're not present anymore, in my point of view. And my point of view is the only point of view which is true and real. You need to understand there are other points of view too, like second, third point of view, but it doesn't matter because the top one, the ultimate, is the first point of view, your own eyes, not your interpretation or story from anybody else. Your personal experience is the most important experience which you can have in this life, right? People can tell you, don't do this, it's dangerous, don't do this, it will hurt you, but still people do sometimes something, right? People can say, don't drink alcohol, it's bad for you, and you will not control yourself, but you would be like, yeah, and then until you really try drinking and getting very drunk and ending up in a fight, in a jail, or puking your guts out, you would not really understand it, right? But as soon as it will happen to you, maybe something will change and you would start to realize, well, I don't like it, I don't want it anymore. No, I don't put your hand in the fire because it will burn you, but unless you really try yourself, maybe you will not understand it. But as soon as you would try it, you'd be 100% sure that yes, it's painful. Now I know. Because I tried myself. Yeah. Very interesting. I like it. This state of flow when I don't need to think about what I'm gonna say anymore. It just happens naturally. And I don't think about it. I hope you like it too. And I hope that you understand me well, what I try to say. But if not, then not. Have a good day. Bye.